Everybody, Harmon here with the Muscle Car Maniacs. How's it going? So today we're going to be having kind of a heartfelt video. So I just experienced my first plasma donation for the first time. I went in and did a little bit of paperwork and all that, and did a few other things. So basically we're going to start a new series. It's going to be about plasma donations, and it's going to be about the process and everything like that. So if I can get my... Okay, there we go. So, plasma donations. Plasma is used for medicine, and it's used for studying purposes, and it's used for a bunch of things, and it truly does help save people's lives. What you've heard about it's true. People's lives depend on them getting plasma. That's part of what matters. So, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it, what my experience was like, and give you the do's and don'ts and all that. So before you go, if it's your first time, which if you're watching this, I'm assuming it is, your first time, you're gonna want to eat a hefty meal. You want to eat a really hefty meal, like a really good sized meal, and you want to drink water, nothing with caffeine or anything like that. And I made that mistake. I ate a decent meal, and then I drank Dr. You're gonna want to make sure to eat a decent meal, like a really good sized meal. If your stomach's full, that's a good thing. And you're gonna want to drink water, or probably like something with no caffeine. You don't want caffeine. I don't know why there can't be caffeine in it, but it's got something to do with blood sugar and all that. So drink something without caffeine, plain and simple. Lemonade would be great. So when you get there, you got to go in, you're gonna be like, hey, I'm a first time donor. You're going to need a driver's license. You're gonna need some form that shows you what address you're currently living at, and if you're not living somewhere and you're homeless, you can't really go and donate. So if you're homeless and you're watching this, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but yeah, you're gonna need some form of proof that shows where you live and it shows that you currently live there. You're gonna need a driver's license, and you're gonna need your social security card. After that, you won't ever need to bring those things again. But I didn't have my social security card, so I came up here with a digital copy of my W-2. It's not as good as bringing your social security card and like a letter you've gotten mailed to you. That would be better because it's a better proof, and I was on my phone. So if you have your W-2, that's great, but I would print it out, because that way you can be like, yeah, here, this is physical, it's real, and yeah. But over the phone, you know, people can forge that kind of thing, so they don't know if you're lying or not. And the only reason I went through it was because it showed my address with my license and my W-2 form. So that was how I got in. The next thing that they're going to do is they're going to take you and they're going to teach you. You're going to watch a 20-minute video talking about what plasma does and what it does for you in terms of like payment. Then they're going to talk to you a little bit more about the kiosk process. And the kiosk is what you're going to do every time you come back. So every time you come back, you're going to go to the kiosk and sign in, basically answer a few questions like, have you had a fever recently, and all that. Simple stuff like that. And it'll ask you a few questions about like hives and AIDS and everything. You're going to need to answer those 100% truthfully, because if you don't, then you could get into some serious trouble and it could affect your health, and you don't want to die, obviously. So after you do that, they're going to take you to a room and you're going to do your physical. Before that, you're going to go sit down at a desk, and they're going to make sure everything was answered truthfully and correctly. And they're going to do a little blood test to show you what it's going to be like. And you'll do it every time you come back. They'll do a little like prick on your finger to make sure your blood's still good, and then you'll go to the physical room where you'll get your physical done. They'll check your nose, eyes, mouth, ears, that kind of thing, make sure you're healthy. That's only for the first time, though. You won't have to do the physical again. That's once every year. After that, they'll take you to the room where you get your blood testing done, or blood testing, where you get the donation done. So you'll sit down in this chair, and it'll lean you back, and you'll pick which arm you want to do. Do you want to do your right, or do you want to do your left? In this case, I had my left arm done. You can see that yellow stuff kind of around. They rub that stuff on where they're going to insert the needle, and it makes it less painful. It doesn't like it. Okay, so the needle, what they do is they're going to do it probably right here. That's probably where they're going to put the needle, most likely. In some certain cases, I'm sure that they'll put it somewhere else, but that's most likely where they're going to put the needle. It stings, and it doesn't make you scream or anything, but it does hurt. I'm not going to lie to you, because if you're watching this, you're going to want more information about what it's like. But the needle does hurt. It does hurt. It's not terrible, and it's not like you want to stop immediately and run out of the room hurt. But if you're very sensitive to needles and you're very not pain tolerant, then I wouldn't recommend doing plasma donations, because it hurts. But once they get and for me it was different, because normally they just insert it and it's all good. But for me, the guy inserted it and my bone got in the way, so he kind of hit the bone and I winced, and I was like, what was that? And he was like, that was your bone, dude. And I was like, is that supposed to happen? And he's like, no, here we go. And then he put it in. I got something in my teeth, don't I? Yeah, I do. Whatever. But my bone was in the way, so he had to readjust my arm. And then the needle went back in, and it was perfect. After that, about 10 minutes later, I got super lightheaded, and I just laid my head back, and I told the guy, I was like, hey man, I'm getting lightheaded. He walked over and he gave me a cold pack and put it on the back of my neck, and he put one right here on my chest, and he took a fan and he was waving me with it. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely sure, it was because I was doing the process wrong. Now how it works is you're going to be sitting there, and when they put the pump, what's it called? The thing that takes your blood test. You can see where the outline is right here. Right. So that's where they're going to put the blood monitor. They'll put that on your arm. Whenever it's tight, you're supposed to be pumping your hand like this, like you're clenching your fist. You're supposed to do it just like that. You don't have to do it like super hard like you're about to beat someone up, but you do need to do it over and over like this to keep the blood pumping, because that's what it does, is it gets the blood going and it gets the process done quicker. Now, just like a blood monitor and a blood tester, whenever it releases, stop pumping. Don't keep going. I'm pretty sure that's why I started getting lightheaded, is because when it released and it got loose, I was still pumping for a good 10 minutes. And so finally I started getting lightheaded and I just let go of everything, and I got a little scared, but I'm pretty sure that the reason I was getting lightheaded was because I didn't eat a decent meal and I haven't had very much water today. So before you go to every single one of these, drink at least a whole 16-ounce bottle of water, at least. I would highly recommend a lot more than that, but I would not get the process started until you've drinking a lot of water, at least 16 ounces. I'm pretty sure that's what's recommended. I'm not entirely sure, but eat a good meal, drink a lot of water, and make sure that you're, ready for it and everything like that. So I got lightheaded because I didn't eat a very big meal and I didn't drink very much water. That, and I kept pumping. Now be sure you listen to the person who's talking to you. I'm trying to make this video nice and simple, but there's a lot to unpack here. And my ear itches. So be sure you listen to the person, because if you don't, you're going to mess something up and it might make you lightheaded and not feel good. You're not going to throw up or anything. You might feel like it, but you shouldn't. You should be just fine as long as you make sure you listen to the person. So if you're on your phone and they're telling you everything, you're probably going to get lightheaded because you weren't paying attention. But they'll be like, when it's tight, pump your arm, and if you want, you can bring an exercise ball. I saw a guy in there with an exercise ball. He was doing that. It makes it easier to pump your fist. And then whenever the pressure releases, then stop pumping. Just watch a YouTube video. And that's another thing. You can go in there with your phone, just watch a movie or something. The process took about 45 minutes. I watched a couple of videos on Apex Legends and a quick little Snapchat thing. I did a couple of Snapchats. And, there's a helicopter. Helicopter. But yeah, after that, it was pretty simple. The guy took the needle out, and my arm does sting a little bit, but it's getting a lot better. The white stuff, or yellow stuff, whatever you want to call it, should go away after you take a shower. It's not going to hurt you or anything. Be sure you leave the bandage on, because it's going to bleed a little. They put a puncture wound in your arm. So, yeah, after that, you'll get some paperwork. It's kind of different for everybody, but you'll get paperwork. Personally, where I went was CSL Plasma in Amarillo, and it's a great facility. They took really good care of me, and I told the guy I was fainting, and he could tell I was getting a little worried. So he was like, hey man, calm down. It happens to pretty much everybody on their first time. And as long as you stay calm and don't panic about anything, you will be fine. Because if you start panicking, your blood's gonna mess up and your arm's gonna be moving and the needle's gonna be like scratching on the inside of your arm, and you don't want that. So just keep calm, cool, and collected. And on your first time, if you got any questions, I had a few questions. They answered them perfectly. They weren't jerks about it or anything. They were really nice and sweet, and they treated me really, really good here, especially for my first time. They didn't make anything awkward. And I mean, I talked to a guy about school for like a solid 10 minutes, and it was a really, really good experience. So other than the fact that I almost fainted, which mostly was my fault. So like I said, as long as you eat a big meal, drink a lot of water, 16 ounces minimum, and you don't pump whenever it's loose, you should be fine. You should be just fine. The needle on the insertion does hurt, but it doesn't hurt for more than a minute. The putting in input, when they put it in, it hurts. But after they put it in, your arm just kind of gets used to it over time. And then when you're done, they just take it out, and then it stings a little bit. Wrap your arm in a bandage, you're good to go. That looks like a butt crack. Look, looks like a butt. Well, enough of me being a child. That's my experience with my plasma donation for the first time. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I've had a lot of, in my life, I've had a lot of people ask questions about it. Like, do you think you're gonna do that? Is that something you want to do? I mean, on my first donation, I made $100, and I was there for less than 2 hours. And you can go pretty much whenever you feel like it. You're in there for maybe an hour. You do your quick check-in, make sure your blood's still good. You go in there, and you know, I might get dizzy next time, but for $100, I would say it was definitely worth it. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about it, but $100 easy, and I can use that to get me through until my next payday from work. And just make sure that the day you go, you're off if you're working, and make sure that the day you go is after school or like on a weekend. You don't want to go like before school, because you might be there a little longer sometimes. And if you go to college, then, you know, find a time where you're free for most of the day, go for an hour, and then if you're done within an hour like I kind of was, or I will be next time, then there you go, you're all set. It's an easy $100. You can make it pretty much every week if you go regularly, but I think for me, I'm going to be going every 2 weeks just because I'm younger and my body's just not used to it. And then every 2 weeks when my body finally gets used to it, I might go every week. But it's an easy $100. You can make $825 in, I think, 8 weeks. That was what the paper said. But it's $100 a week, easy. And the one thing is, though, you do have to be 18 and older. That's definitely something I forgot to mention. But other than that, it was a pretty good experience, and I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, you get a little card. I'm obviously not going to show that to you guys because I don't want you stealing my money. But, yeah. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I'm pretty knowledgeable about it now. I've been here for almost 3 hours, but that was because it was my first time, and I had to sign in, do my fingerprint and physical and all that. But from now on, I should be in there within an hour. But, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a comment in the comment section if you got questions. Please do like and subscribe on this video, because, you know, I'm going to be doing more of these, hopefully. And, yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that may be, car meet or CSL Plasma. So thank you guys for watching this video, and thank you to CSL Plasma for saving lives, and thank you for helping me partake in that. So thank you guys. You have a good day.